Now, young kind of car. Now, since you know, Miss Mendy's for your propaganda, no. Since you know, all your TV da, muhumo won't be because what's the social media chip pam 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 pam. And so good TV da. On some worker, ubi other kada some work on your quart. Soon as I would do our confirm yafa, put my family cost. But was on a share video, no be who or your corner. Sammy Gyamfi, Nana San Canada, no. Then that day, eh.
Five. So 5.
I can go on
5
and on. Asphalt, town roads and what?
5. Ni na 5.
Hohoy.
5.
Town roads in who?
5.
Hohoy.
5.
I can't say. Aflawo.
5.
All the asphalt town roads.
5.
Taxi drivers are one more hall men's in assembly no more. Na no dwada wo de won safo nyina gu fom e pake wo mo car sisi wo se won nya adwuma na enye se bi o mo twi mumum na emom wo mo kire se akwan a wo ho no e ya akwan ni nyina tutu aye manhole we yan kasa potholes na emom manhole mu atutu pa yie enu nti wo mo de car ne si ho no mo ye se da bi wo mo besesa na tie ne abo de agu manhole yi mu na wo mo si no se de be ya wo mo car se bra no no etu obetumi atwa na no na droba fo eni UTV kasa na wo mo kire se wo makobo mansi na mane aye de ombeye bia nso so ententam na no no
mo se so mo bo akase empudujuma wodo aban aye woga na ase no mo so nsa akomodie
ni na na do don kwakufa de na ase pan se afede Hohoy city wa ma bibia aye clear bibia aye fine uko bibia asphalt bibia aye neat first especially picnic road so uko ho a over o so stop taxi over si de bi onko ba afede bibia aye neat asphalt da ho picnic kra na afede o si let's go afede na even kra yes ye loro kra no aye fine bia afede asphalt bibia okay nti de na ase pan se onko so na ejuma
As Nana can say, year of roads, no one when you share of good roads. Maybe I have say I gina say, and you say Nana had here. But I say no, this place has seen massive improvement. And ya han so all the inner roads, have seen massive roads development. You say no, obia oba hohoy, actually be met me and Hano, and your place and I car cried for 8 for Hano. By name, and now Peter Mewu. And Nana do dan kwakufu ado city no and ya ha nyina roader that are more trouble
Nti say yempie ya na abate na yepe. Na oye hu de Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia so san ni dwuma olu yengina no ganfu bebre woru ho. Na opani bi a onye shedanye political yimpe bi na otum no ka sampa as support no. Ihu de yes. Bomaza na che video no. No be so ne sanka video. Na yehwe papa.
We are blessed as a country that we don't have to fight to determine who will lead us. But we have two fine gentlemen, President John Mahama and Vice President Bawumia, who we have to pick from. The other side of that is that we have been dealt that hand. We didn't have a choice in it. It was NDC and NPP. Of all the people in NDC, they picked John Mahama. It is their prerogative. And then MPP picks Bawumia. It is their prerogative. We, the people of Ghana, have been dealt this hand. You can like it or not. I think one of the two will be president. So every measure you come up with against Vice President Bawumia, President Mahama also fails on it. He has been a president. He has been a vice president. And the track record is there. Whether it's corruption, whether it's transformational leadership, whatever it is. And when I looked at all of that, I came to the conclusion that we are better off picking Vice President Bawumia and giving him a chance. At the least, we should give him a fair hearing. Let us hear the man and listen to what he has for this country. Now, all of that together forced me to have to make that endorsement, not to his person, but in the calculation that it is better for this country, even if you are going to make a mistake going forward. Because we have tried this other quantity, and we have had this.
We have tried John Mahama as president,
yes,
but not try
yes,
Bawumia as president.
Yes.
That is a key argument you made.
That's a key argument. And I'm saying that
you sit on boards and you sit on interview panels. You pick people for experience on a job.
Yes.
If President Mahama has been president, he ought to do better if he's given the opportunity than someone who is seeking that opportunity.
You don't pick people for the wrong experience. You don't pick people whose experience showed that they could not do the job. In fact, that is the perfect rule you use to exclude them. We gave you the chance and you failed. So out. You pick people who have shown you a certain tendency to do well. And then you analyze them, which is what I did. Every measure you pick to rule on whether to go with Vice President Bawumia or President Mahama, you find out that in his case, there have been findings made and things established. So again, you go forward and you realize that, look, if we are going to look at track record, then indeed.
First of all, Sammy lied when he said that for the first time in 40 years, we defaulted on our loan and that it has never happened. I have with me a letter here dated February 18, 2025 from the Africa Development Bank and was addressed to Samuel D. Amiel, Director, Debt Management Division, Ministry of Finance and Economic Planning. Subject, application of sanctions, arrears on bills due on 1st January 2015. And it reads.
No, so is that February 18? What's the date?
The letter is dated February 18, 2015.
Okay, earlier you said 2025, so.
No, 2015.
Okay.
And it reads, we wish to inform you that as of today, we have not received full payment in respect of bank group bills as per the attached arrears report. Therefore, and in accordance with the bank group policy on loan arrears recovery, we wish to inform you that sanctions have been imposed on 1st February 2015. We could count on your prompt action for the timely settlement of the amounts due to enable the lifting of sanctions. So in 2015, under Mahama, we defaulted on our loan obligations to Africa Development Bank. I'm not sure 2015 to now is up to 40 years. So he lied. Number two, he said Bawumia is a chronic liar and therefore lacks the credibility to be president. And I think that as somebody who is passionately advocating for Mahama, he should be the last person to use the word credibility, especially on matters bordering corruption. Mr. Mahama is the only politician I know at the highest level who is incurably corrupt and visionless. There's absolutely no doubt about that. And I'll substantiate that.
Substantiate that.
In February 2009, at least according to the Federal Court report on the matter of the infamous Airbus scandal, the court established conclusively that Mr. Mahama, as early as February 2009, was in constant email conversations with officials of Airbus. Alfred, we've all read the Crown's report, the decision in France, and that of the US. And we have also listed, after a series of investigation by the special prosecutor, that it was established clearly that Mr. Mahama was the man designated as government official one. And you know how it is? It was this man who used his brother, named as intermediary 5, to receive bribes worth $8 million through a phony company registered in Spain. And that phony company took $3 million out of the money and remitted over $5 million to Mr. Mahama. It was not just a matter of the Airbus. And indeed, if we were in a democratic culture that works efficiently, Mr. Mahama should not be leading any political party into any election. This is a man whose reputation as a corrupt man is known locally and internationally. In fact, in a BBC interview, he was asked clearly, have you ever received bribes? He dilly-dallied and said and posed a counter question, whether as human being or as president. When Dr. Bawumia spoke at UPSC, he proudly declared as human being and as vice president that he is not corrupt. Indeed, civil society leaders, and I'm going to give you an example. The executive director of Media Foundation has expressed an opinion on these two key individuals in our politics. First, in the case of Mr. Mahama on the Airbus.
Are you talking about Suleiman
Abrema? When he was interviewed on Joy FM.
When?
After the news, the scandal broke out. He was interviewed on Joy FM.
Which scandal?
The Airbus scandal. I'm coming. So he was asked. Then he said that at the time of the scandal, the only elected official on the Armed Forces Council was Mr. John Dramani Mahama. And he was convinced that the court referred to Mr. Mahama. In the Charles
Edu Boyhin's case, this same man expressed the view that as far as Dr. Bawumia is concerned, he is reputed as a man who is incorruptible. This is an individual expressing his views about two individuals. Alfred, for the first time in the history of our nation, that a sitting president, according to an attorney general, contemplated investigating Mr. Mahama for corruption allegations in the purchase of the Embraer jets from Brazil. It has never happened. Indeed, President Mills, according to Martin Amidu, went on to set up a 3-member committee to look into the procurement acquisition which Mr. Mahama championed. So as far as Mr. Mahama's integrity is concerned, he should not be seeking political office. As for what was said by Team Dufour in their petition to their General Secretary, out of deference for the office he once occupied and respect for, I will not read that. But when we are talking about a man who lacks credibility, Alfred, between a man who is perceived as being a liar and a man who has a reputation of being corrupt, in 2009, in the British House of Commons, an MP named John Dramani Mahama of having received bribes from the Amajaro company. You remember the Amajaro cocoa scandal? Mr. Mahama was named in the British House of Commons for having received bribes. Such is the character that Sammy is passionately defending as a man of integrity. Such is between the two individuals. I would, and Mr. Pebo said that he kept referring to Socrates. If he has read the treatise of Sacred well and is clearly convinced by the between the two individuals, we know the one who desires public resource. Mr. Mahama has demonstrated time and again. Before he exited office, it's public knowledge, he gave over 50% of our bauxite to his biological brother. When we came, we terminated the contract. They fought it all the way to the Supreme Court and lost.